everybody. I'm just so excited, y'all. I'm so excited. I'm in such a great mood, which is all the time, but I figured I would share that with you guys. So today I want to talk to y'all about your what y'all call gut feeling, in which I'm going to say, I always say, it's a God feeling, and that's discernment. So you know how sometimes people will say, oh, I had this feeling in my gut, like it was just something in my gut that told me not to take that way, or not to date that guy, or not to take that job, or not to apply to that school, or not to buy that house, not to get that car. I'm gonna tell y'all the experience with me, right? So each and every time, I'm 34 years old and I've only owned, 4 cars, right? So besides the first car that I ever owned, which was when I first got my license, I was 16 years old, and 15 or 16, and my stepfather bought me my first car. Bless his heart, he's so sweet. And besides that car, every time I went to the car dealerships from the remainder of my 3 cars, it's like I would know that was my car. For example, when I graduated from school, I would start having trouble out of I had a Honda Accord and the motor went out. So I went car shopping. I went to multiple car dealerships, y'all. Multiple car dealerships. And it was like, for one, when I went there, I didn't really see a car that I liked. But then if I seen something that I would settle for, I would, test drive it and etc. And then, but it still just didn't sit right. Just be like, oh, this is a nice car, but no, it just, And so then, but even so, I would do the work, submit the application or whatever, for a car loan, and just something would fall through, like it wouldn't go through. And so, like, I don't know about everybody else, but I'm really big on signs. God always sends signs and revelation and confirmations. Like, he always sends signs. And so back then, I didn't know that that's exactly what that was, that I had the gift of discernment. I didn't know. But now when I look back at the situation, I'm like, those were red flags that God was telling me that wasn't a car for me anyway. And so I go to about 3-4 different car dealerships. Either I didn't see something that I just didn't like, or it was just like something would happen to where, it wasn't my car anyway. So anyway, I would go. So one day, went to the Acura dealership, and it's like, as soon as I pulled into the car dealership, and it was a red Acura, and my grandma went with me, and I told my grandma, I said, Grandma, that's my car. And like, even though I didn't test drive that car, I just had laid eyes on the car. That was it. But I knew that was my car. And so, I didn't look at no more cars. I just went ahead, test drove the car, and everything lined up. So let me tell you this, and this is what my co-worker told me. This, my brother, a good friend of mine, He told me this about 2 years ago, and it has applied to my life ever since then. He says that when you know it's from God, God gives you the green light. And green light, of course, I hope everybody know that means go. It's going to flow the way that it's supposed to flow. So everything is going to line up how it's supposed to add up. So I look back at that situation now, and long story short, that was the car that I got. I still have that car to this day. And long story short, when one door closed, allow that door to close and rejoice, because I'm here to tell you, and some of y'all, you know, I'm quite sure have experienced this as well. I'm here to tell you that when that door closed, God has a bigger and better blessing on the way. Or shall I say, when one door closed, he got a bigger door, another door that's going to open, that's right for you. So allow those doors to close, y'all, and just wait for God's divine blessing. Because when we try to take matters into our own hands, and like I said on a previous video, when you try to force them doors open, and then you realize later, when we try to make decisions on our own, and then when it doesn't go right, then later, you know, we've been and got ourselves in some mess. Now we got to clean it back up and invite God back into the situation and ask him to clean it up, which really the signs were already there, but you just keep trying to force these doors to open and they need to stay closed. So what I'm saying is, use your discernment. Know when God is sending you red flags and signs and confirmations. Like, pray about it. Pray before you make any decision. But just know that if you have that sense of uneasiness, if you feeling you're not at peace, you kind of like I don't know, that's not God. That is not God. You're gonna feel a sense of peace when it's from him, and you're gonna know. And I hear some people say, like, when they found their spouse, like, I knew that she was the one when I laid eyes on her. Like, for me, when I bought my house, when I passed by that land and they had to strip the land off and it went nothing but the pavement, when I passed by, and mind you, I'm from this area, so I pass by there all the time, but this one particular day when I was on my way to church and I was passing by, and my spirit was just going, and it was just like I just knew that that's where God wanted me to be. And guess where I'm at? Right there in that neighborhood now. So it's like, but if I would have settled for any other house that I wasn't at peace with, I probably would be in a tough situation, bad situation right now, trying to get myself up out of that. So when I tell you God give us the gift of discernment, and he's going to give you that confirmation to back it up, y'all listen, because God give us free will. For me, it's God's will or no will. It ain't even my will. Like, it's God's will over everything. When you be obedient and listen to what God is telling you, you will receive God's divine blessings for your life. Just be patient. And sometimes the answer is just wait. Like, just wait on me, my child. And he's going to prepare you for what he has prepared for you. So just be patient and wait. When I tell you wait, I'm one of them people that, let me tell y'all, I am one of them people that is impatient. But I have learned and I have developed patience, because one thing I don't want to do is move ahead of God, and then I done got myself in a situation that I gotta pray my way out of, and the signs were right there slapping me in my face. So I just want to tell y'all on today that use your discernment and know that God's divine blessings is everything that you would ever want in your life. And don't get me wrong, like the devil, he'll try to come and trick you now. But God is going to give you those signs. He's going to send you confirmation and revelation to back it up. Only thing you got to do is just listen, trust him, trust the process. I don't care if it's something as simple as car hunting. Because sometimes when you go on looking at, when you go car shopping, it don't always happen within that first day now. Sometimes you can be waiting for weeks and months at a time. So just be patient. But when you be patient and you get that car and it be like, oh my goodness, like I just love this car. And I'm talking about, you don't even have to test drive it. Soon as you lay eyes on this car and you know that this is your car, listen, I'm telling y'all from personal experience, because I can't give nobody else testimony. But I'm telling y'all from my personal experience that when you allow God when you wait on God and allow him to pour out an abundance of blessings in your life and your cup start running over, then you're going to be like, whoa, the wait was worth it. I'm so glad I waited. I've had numerous situations in my life where I was just so glad that I did not make this decision, that I waited and trusted God. Because I'm telling you, you will save yourself money, time, a headache, you name it, when you wait on God and trust God. So that's all I have for y'all today. I love you all. And just remember to use your discernment. If you unsure, more than likely, most of the time, like I said, that's not of God. But just always pray about everything and worry about nothing. And I hope y'all have a blessed and prosperous, peace-filled day. And I'll chat with y'all later.